Good evening and welcome to the Common Council of the City of Connersville, August 16th, 2021 meeting. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Dave Nutty.
Join me, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I'm not for sure, did Tim out there, but Tim had to leave today out of town. Did not make it back. Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone. If you would remember to turn your cell phone ringer off, please. And we'll begin with roll call.
Councilman Robb?
Here.
Councilman Gray?
Here.
Councilman Nutty?
Present.
Councilman Warner? Councilwoman Barrett?
Present.
Councilman Williams Jr.?
Present.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Present.
Okay, everyone has the minutes from the April 2nd, 2021 meeting. Are there any additions and corrections to that? If not, entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All right, move on down to new business. We have Victoria Becker from ARA requesting permission to apply for the owner-occupied rehabilitation grant for the city of Connersville and the approval of resolution 2021-80.
Hi, I'm Victoria Becker. I work with Administrative Resources Association in Columbus, Indiana. We are working with the city to apply for an owner-occupied rehab program. The application is due next Friday. So as a part of that application, we have to do an authorizing resolution, basically allowing the mayor to sign and submit the application. And then also that the city is committing $25,000 in local matching funds, which is the minimum requirement.
Yes, with that, we are looking for philanthropic sources. We have requested 5 different organizations to help out with that. That is our plan on that. The backup will be going to the general fund, but we're working as hard as we can to get the philanthropic. The timeline was very narrow on this.
Yes.
When I read about the grant, it came out very quickly. They don't give you much time anymore.
No,
And
they
then
don't.
I met with Okra. I said, hey, what's going on here? How can we do this? So that was the result we came up with, and then the deadline is very quickly. So we are shooting for the philanthropic. That is our goal. We think we can meet that, but that's our goal. But we are having a public hearing
Yes.
next Monday on the 23rd at the Miller Building at 6 p.m. We have to do a public hearing for this as well.
Correct.
So there's a lot of stipulations. There's a lot to go over that night as what they can and can't do, their income requirements, different things like that. We see it as a benefit to the community because you're going to, we used to do blight elimination. I think it was the same, not the same grant, but same idea where there was tear down. This is going and fixing up homes and properties. Was it roofs,
Yes.
heating?
So
You wanna
they're
give the list?
very specific
Very
this time.
specific.
So roofs, ADA accessibility only up to the threshold of the home. So ADA ramps, low-rise steps, HVAC replacement, lighting and electrical upgrades, and water heater replacement. So nothing disturbing paint and nothing disturbing structural issues in the home, so.
Is there gonna be any kind of liens on the property?
Yes, we are actually proposing that there be one. So it basically would be between the city and the homeowner. That way we could track the release dates, and we actually release those from our office after the 3 years is what the affordability period is. When IHCDA ran the program, they took away that requirement, but I expressed to Okra that we had some issues with people getting repairs to their home and then selling it immediately and getting a profit off of it. So we do mandate that they do stay in the home for a 3-year period. If they were to pass away during that time, though, we do release it.
I remember a grant similar to this some years ago that Connersville received. A friend of mine had their house upgraded and with more modern heating and so forth. It was a real benefit to this gentleman.
Yes, it's a great program. So I would encourage any of you who know people that are maybe eligible to come to that meeting. I'll have application packets. I know Diana's been distributing some already, so.
We have packets over here at City Hall. We posted everything on the Facebook page, get information
Awesome.
out, so.
Yes.
It's in the newspaper.
Yeah.
So all that's going out, so, good program.
Do the, well, just a comment at the hearing, I was going to ask if the residents me putting money out, but maybe we'll discuss that at the
Nope, they don't. It's completely a grant. So the only reason that they would pay anything back is if they were to get the repairs done and sell the home. There would be a prorated payback.
Is this residential only?
Correct, yeah.
Owner
Owner occupied only.
occupied.
Yep, no rentals, contract sales, anything like that, so.
Good.
What was the time of the meeting?
It's 6 PM on Monday.
That'll be advertised far enough in advance.
It already has been. We had time on
I
it to
saw the
advertise
legal,
it.
yes, right, I saw that long. legal
Had to
ad.
get, the time frame was very crunched.
And we usually ask the paper to do an actual article. So I don't know if that was done or not. We don't receive that newspaper. So if you guys do see an article,
I did not see an article, but I will double check unless I missed something, because I was gone
Okay.
2 days last week.
well, and I usually ask that they do it closer to the meeting time, so it may be in a different paper. So just keep your eyes peeled.
I'll talk to them tomorrow and see.
Okay, perfect.
Any other questions?
Not I move we pass resolution 2021-80.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome to
Okay.
head home. We got a long drive.
If you could, somebody scan the signed copy to
We'll
me
send it
tomorrow,
tomorrow.
and then I'll
Yep.
upload it into your application, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make a note now or I will forget.
Can we take the,
Okay.
can we
Can we
take
do
B
B, C,
through
D,
I?
or-
B through
Well,
I?
no, you cannot. B is an ordinance,
Oh, so, okay,
Where's
C
the
through I
resolution?
could be, okay.
where C through H.
Right.
I is something different
Oh, that's,
completely.
I know what that is. Okay, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay. Item B, approval of pending ordinance 3715, transfer to MVH. Rosemary?
Pending ordinance 3715 is a ordinance to transfer $21,000 from other employees to insurance.
Move past the bidding orders 3715.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye on first reading.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. And we have a motion,
Suspend.
yep. Have a motion to suspend.
Second?
Have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. And a motion for third and final reading.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. That's carried. Thank you. Okay, now you can take items C through H if you would like.
Resolution 2021-73 is a resolution to reimburse DOT garage and motor supplies in the amount of $150. Resolution 2021-74 is a resolution to reimburse police telephone in the amount of $399.99. Resolution 2021-75 is a resolution to transfer the following items into the Energy Savings Fund. We're transferring $16,000 from City Hall electricity, $7,000 from fire electricity, $1,000 from landfill electricity, $14,000 from park electricity, and $2,000 from MVH electricity.
Yeah, questions? Oh, sorry.
Three more.
Sorry, jumped ahead.
Resolution 2021-76 is a resolution to transfer $50,000 from general fund into the rainy day fund. Resolution 2021-77 is a resolution to transfer $945 from Sun Life into the new life insurance fund. Resolution 2021-78 is a resolution to reimburse $2,200 into the airport other contractual.
Yeah, any questions? Now I entertain a motion to approve resolution 2021-73, 74, 75, 76, 77, and 78.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Excuse me. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you very much. And I'm down to item I, approval of resolution 2021-79 as the ready grant application. Dan's here if you have any questions on this. We are applying for the ready grant to get in with the region. We had a lot of I wouldn't say significant, we had some serious issues and questions. Not an understatement there, is it? We had a lot of questions, and it just didn't make sense, but now things have changed a lot, and they're gonna let us in, and we don't have all the answers to this day, because it's a never-evolving project, but we felt now some of the serious points that we had changed, we're ready to move forward with this, so,
There, on this particular thing, there was an article in the paper about it.
yes.
But I'd appreciate it for the listening audience, if Dan would just give just a briefing of what it is and what it's capable of.
Why, thank you, Councilman Nutty, I appreciate that. The long and short of it is that the date did pass where we weren't included. There were some conversations with the state and with the leaders of the city and the county. And if we were able to find a region that would let us in, we could apply. And we did. And we have done that. We've committed the money. And so this resolution before you right now is part of the requirements from city and county. We're doing the same thing tomorrow in the commissioners meeting to fulfill their requirements. We need that resolution ASAP. We've been playing catch up and we've caught up pretty quickly. We've submitted a number of projects for approval, and hopefully it'll bear some fruit. Beyond that, Dave, I don't know if anything else really to tell you.
There is match money, or not necessarily match money, there's a fee up front, which was another big issue, but the reason I'm not bringing you the fee is, A, I didn't have time to bring it to council, there's no way I could have got this done. So the redevelopment commission stepped up and said they wanted to do this as part of redevelopment, because this goes right with redevelopment, so we're not asking for any money, it's just a resolution. Redevelopment hasn't formally voted on it, but I've talked to every single one of them, and they're all good with it, so just so you know, that is where it's coming from.
And our money has been set in, our 15,000. That was done last week.
Any other questions?
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 2021-79, it's ready grant application.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. And if you don't want to stick around, you can leave.
Can I get a copy of that tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks, Dan.
Make yourself a note.
He can get that from her. Okay. Department reports, Catherine.
Hi, everybody. Just have some kind of public announcements tonight. We do have a new face at the park. We have a new secretary starting on Thursday. Her name's Mackenzie Price. So when you come in, introduce yourself to Mackenzie. We also were very fortunate. We're going to be receiving a donation from Ben Houston at Hillfi. He is going to be donating a sound system to the amphitheater at the park. So we're going to be working out the details of that gift here in the next couple of weeks. We also received the fishery report from the DNR. This was, I don't know, a few months, well, maybe a year ago. It was kind of brought up here at council about the fishing. They will be stocking trout in mid-October. So that will continue as long as the DNR has a surplus of trout to give us. So it's
Small lease, right?
at small lease, yeah. Right now, so it's not costing us any money. It's a surplus that they have, and they're going to bring it here. The reason that they don't do that all the time is because that lake does not support that kind of fish, just because the vegetation is bad. The fair was a big success. Want to make sure that we thank everybody at the fair. Let's see. We are also working on the fountain I know that's in my report. He came out last week and we think we have a solution that might only cost us like $500. So we're hoping that that works. If not, we may be looking at having to dismantle the fountain. So we don't want to have to do that. As far as sports go, we have machine pitch with 60 girls, and fall soccer is going to be getting started with about 280 kids in fall soccer. So unless you guys have other questions, that's all I have.
No questions, but I'm very appreciative to the donation of the sound system for the amphitheater.
Yeah,
We're
it's
direly.
desperately needed. That's what
Desperately
Ben said too. He went to one of the events during the fair and he said, I couldn't
We
hear.
went to two.
Couldn't hear
Couldn't hear
anything,
anything.
so-
Now, you could if you were down by the armory, but you couldn't hear it under. Yeah,
Yeah.
greatly appreciated.
So we'll work through that, so, thank you.
Chief Jones.
Good evening, council. Everybody should have a copy of my report in your packets. We'll start off with the overtime. Overtime for the month of July was a little over $4,000, which has been average for the year. Anybody have any questions on the overtime? All right, move on to the next portion of the reports, the run report. We had 197 runs in July and followed up with a summary of all the runs that we had. And after that is a summary of the training for the month of July. I believe it's, the total's not on there, but I believe it's a little over 40 hours. Just a little summary of the different training that we did. And then in the final page is a summary of the inspections that were performed in July. Going back to the training, I'm not sure how many of you follow our Facebook page, but we did some interesting training last month. The guys used some of their rope training to remove a hazard on the river. So I don't know. I've been down the river several times, and a lot of people made mention of that same spot. There was a log that stuck out in the river, probably about 8 feet or so, that people would get hung up on. So I looked into it, and we found a spot where we could use our training, and we did that. And one of the guys went down, and we cut that log off. We got permission with the DNR, obviously,
Yeah.
before we did that. So,
Yeah.
but I did get a lot of response from that, and a lot of thank yous, because apparently there was a lot of people that got hung up there all the time. So we try to change it up, do some interesting training instead of just the same repetitive stuff. So if we get opportunity to do something like that, we try to. But that was kind of neat. Any questions?
Thank you, Scott.
Okay, thank you.
Brad?
Howdy. In case you guys hadn't noticed, there's a lot going on around town.
No kidding.
I wanted to tell you, so the things you can see, the sidewalk project, we spend daily time out there working on the drainage and water line issues. Paving with NDOT takes quite a bit of time working with them on these ramps and just different issues that come up, and trying to get some of our streets to drain properly. And of course, we have our water main replacement that's probably about a good halfway finished. But I wanted to tell you a couple things about some of the things that we've been doing that you don't see behind the scenes that's been keeping us busy. And a lot of this is office stuff, but we've been working quite a bit on the water master plan. That water master plan is going to design some projects to rebuild our old water mains and system. Probably about 60% of our water system is 100 years old or older. You've heard me tell you that several times. That master plan is going to do some things to install new valving. It's going to do some things that will equalize system pressures. As Dave knows, we have really high pressures in some parts of town and low in others. So we've also been working through the process to choose a new office software. That's been quite extensive, especially for Cindy, a lot of work. We've been working on surveying and through a process of getting easements on the Walmart property. Quite a bit of time we've spent on that.
Yes.
We've in the middle of designing our headworks and phosphorus
removal project at the wastewater plant. That's the $15 million project I've been telling you about that's coming. And with all of those projects, we're working on rate studies for all utilities for you all to consider probably early to the middle of next year to set rates in the future in a place where we can do all these things that we need to do. So those are just some things that we're working on. Did anybody have any questions about any of the reports at the utilities or the street department? I had reported today, I'll just go over just a little bit. We have been mowing properties, helping try to get some of those properties cleaned up. We've done most of them, and we've farmed out a few to another guy to help us keep up when we were a little short on personnel. We've had summer help working on the cemetery most of the summer now. All but one of those people's gone, so we're back to having our own guys doing that. And it makes it a little tough to get everything done. But any questions?
Brent, at the 30th and Western, just immediately west of the railroad track, right in front of the utility building, there's sand in that lane. I don't know if it's from the job or something else.
That goes back towards 24th Street, that lane? Oh, you mean in the lane
In the
of
driving, yeah,
30th
the traffic
Street?
lane. Traffic lane.
Probably those guys working up on top of EB Drive.
Well, I was up there a little bit ago, and it could be difficult for someone who decides to stop suddenly, and certainly some motorcyclists. So that could be either cleaned or tell them just be careful.
We'll get right on
And
that.
at 30th and Edie, there was gravel on out into 30th Street, but that's probably just some from the job, just loose gravel.
Their staging area is just on the other side of the road, so they're kind of tracking in and out. But we just had them go back and clean up that 10th Street Hill area. It was looking pretty shabby, and so I'll mention that to them.
Just concerned about the stopping lane right there at the tracks. People may slide in it, particularly motorcycles.
Thanks for the heads up.
We'll talk about the new hours.
At the compost? Yeah. Maybe I mentioned at the last meeting, but we're now open 3 days a week at the compost site to try to accommodate everybody that's trying to clean up around their place. We're open Tuesday all day, Thursday all day, and now Saturday all day.
All day?
The transfer station is closed in the afternoons, but the compost site is open. So, thank you.
Okay. Ready?
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
You have the report for the month. Any questions on the numbers on that? Overtime was a little high, but if you look back on the last 5 years' figures, we are down significantly from those numbers. So July is usually our high month just because of vacations and the way things run. So hopefully next month we're back on track and it's back where it should be. A few of the numbers that to hit on. Accidents, it looks like we had almost 60 accidents for the department for the month. Traffic stops made were 187. We had 114 arrests made. 25 drug-related or arrest calls. Down into our training for the month, we had over 170 hours of training in firearms and stops training. Stops training is where the officer picks up on and retrains on when they make an actual stop and how to go through the motions with that, and just keeps them alert and refreshes them on that. Chief Bolos did mention to the Board of Works this afternoon that the department is going to start looking to receive applications. Just want to make sure you guys are aware of that in case anybody asks you. We are accepting applications. We have at least 2 that are retiring next year, 1 in January and 1 in July, I believe it is. So we're going to have to get on that, get that started, and get those rolling in. For our task force numbers, those, I think you guys got a copy of that as well. The numbers are up, which doesn't mean it's good for the community, but it means it's great for the task force because they're getting the numbers, they're getting those off the street and taking them
Read
away.
those to them, just go ahead and tell them what it is.
We had over 23 grams of meth that were taken off the street. The pill count was up over 12. The needles that were taken off of people or off of incident scenes, we had over 30. We did have one gun that was seized during an arrest. And then he had one arrest that he had that for dealing and 3 other arrests that he dealt with. That's the numbers for the drugs, and that doesn't list everything that he's currently working on. That's just what has been followed through with. One thing I want to remind everybody is school's back in session. We want to remind everyone to slow down when you're in the school zones. You don't know when a child could pop out between a vehicle or a bus. Make sure you stop for the school bus arms. Even if they're parked in front of the school, you need to stop. We have a lot of problems, and that's just a recent change that they started doing. If they unload on the street by the school, they put their stop arm out. You have to stop for that. We have a lot of people that disregard that, thinking that because it's at a school, they don't have to stop. You do, and I just want to get that out there. Unfortunately, with the first full week of school in, I do have several stop arm violations that I'll be sending out in the mail already. So just a reminder, stop for the school bus stop arms. Okay. Any questions on anything? Thank you.
Nick? Evening, sir.
Everybody got my packets?
Yeah.
Yes.
Any questions on anything?
A lot on there.
Yes, you've been busy.
Yeah, it's busy.
And it's pleasing that the majority of them have been resolved or taken care of. That's the thing, you can have the list, but the fact that,
A lot of follow-up.
yes,
That's the biggest thing to it.
yeah,
Yep. Follow-up's the hard
the
part.
majority have been taken care of. Congratulate you on that.
Well, thank you. For the most part,
And
everything's
a
going
lot,
really
a lot of
good.
cars removed, so that's good,
Lots of cars.
very good.
Any questions for Nick while he's here?
Hey, Nick, can I give you this just as a reminder that we need to talk about that?
Yeah.
We're,
Yeah, I'll wait.
we're already familiar with that.
Yeah, I'll fill you in some more.
Thank you.
With that-
Anything else?
With, you got any questions for Nick?
No.
With that being said, you can see there's a lot here.
Yes.
He's been very busy, very active. He's doing a very good job. But that's also created a problem for us because now his phone's ringing off the hook, which is good. But the problem we're having is getting out, getting it looked at, and then following up on it. Keeping up is pretty difficult to do. So what we've come up with is we're going to do what we call an ordinance blitz. And on August 31st will be the first one. The second one will be Tuesday, September 14th. The third one will be Tuesday, September 28th. Now, this will be in the newspaper tomorrow. This will be on Facebook. This will be everywhere starting tomorrow. What I want people to understand, this is not a punishment. You're not going to come in and just get a fine. What we've done is we've organized it in the policing districts. So the first one on August 31st will be in Police District 1. The map will be published as well so people understand it. The September 14th one will be in District 2. And the September 28th will be District 3. The reason we've done that is our overtime budget for the police doesn't support me getting any help right now. So what we're doing is kind of shifting things around so Nick and an officer will blitz their district when they're working. And obviously if there's a call, which more likely there will be, the officer will have to leave. But just kind of blitz an area, go out there and list the violations. I got specific violations we're going to look for because we can't do them all right now. Just to help make people aware, because mostly what we're finding is people are just unaware of what ordinances are there. So we publish the ordinances we're looking for. John and I have been working on trying to put together like an ordinance of the week or something so people can see the ordinance and know what it is and know what to do. And then they also get time to rectify the issue that we see.
Right.
And if they don't do anything, that's when the fines start kicking in. But our hopes, anticipation is by publishing the ordinances, people see what you're looking for, people will just get it done before we ever get there. That way they don't have to stop and do all the work. But getting a second set of eyes and just blitzing an area, and then Nick can go back and do the follow-up. So, we're gonna do that here starting, again, on Tuesday, August 31st, District 1, September 14th, District 2, and September 28th will be District 3. Here's what we're gonna be really looking for. You can find a complete list of code violations. It's a nightmare to navigate. But on the Connersville Community website, under the Clerk Treasurer tab, you can find an ordinance book and navigate them. It's not easy to do, I'll tell you right now. So that's why we want to do like an ordinance training. We're going to be looking for Chapter 98 nuisances, 98.02, which will be vegetation that has attained a height of 12 inches or more and has not been cut, mown, or otherwise removed from private property, which is abandoned, neglected, disregarded. Vegetation planted, that's a mistypo. I don't know who typed this. Planted from some useful or immoral purpose is accepted from this definition. Accumulation of rubbish, trash, refuse, junk, and other abandoned material, metals, lumber used to discard tires of any size or other things. The unauthorized obstruction of any public street, road, or sidewalks. As we drive around, we see a lot of sidewalks where people are parking over, curbs are parking over, streets are blocking, alleyways, people are parking out in the alleys, and people cannot pass through. So those are things we're going to be looking for. And then I've given some definition of debris under 98.36, and there's definition of what debris means, what they're looking for, the weeds according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture publication. We're also going to be looking for derby cars. We talked about this at Board of Works a little bit. Derby cars have 7 days before a Fayette County sanctioned event and 7 days after where they can be out and parked in the yard and different things. Other than that, they're supposed to be in a enclosed building. They're not supposed to be parked in their backyard under tarp or anything. They're supposed to be in an enclosed building, non-visible. So we're going to be looking for those, along with junk cars. So we've all been looking at those, what those are going to look for. Those are kind of the things we're going to highlight for now. There's a lot more. And we've been getting calls a lot more. We've been working on nuisance buildings, abandoned buildings. That's a whole different game that Jeff and I, there's a lot with that one, but we're going to get a program and a plan in place to deal with those. It's going to take some time, but just these right here is keeping me overwhelmed right now. So again, this is not something we're going through just with a hammer trying to punch people. That's not the goal or the intent, and Nick doesn't operate that anyway. His first question is, hey, here's a violation, let's work together to get this done, which is a great model. So that's what we're going to do in the Blitz as well. Just kind of get through, and hopefully by bringing attention to it, people will be proactive and just take care of it before they ever get there. So,
Yep. Anything else for me?
Sounds like a plan.
thanks, Dave.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, John.
For the month of July, we had 12 hours, 34 minutes of meeting production, 7 hours, 36 minutes of original production. But what I really wanted to talk about tonight, other than that, is that I entered into a contest that I entered a couple of years ago, which is the Alliance for Community Media Central States Region Philo Festival of Media Arts. And we won. It's a large area, and it encompasses some very large cities with large budgets, so to win in that is extraordinary. And we won in the underserved voices category, Black Man Small Town. That was a pretty extraordinary program we did a while back, and apparently it was also appreciated by those who judged it. And I really have to thank Emma Williams for that. She did an awesome job organizing that and bringing in the guests, and of course all the guests that were on the show as well. And that's still on our YouTube page if you'd like to watch it again. It's on there so you can see it.
Whole series.
Great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job, Jim.
Yes, great job.
Did you have any questions on the report? Okay, thank you.
Thanks for all you do, John.
Thank you, John.
Chief Harden.
Good evening. For those of you that were on the Board of Work, sorry I missed today. I did have something pretty important, taking my little girl to her first day of preschool, so that's the reason I was not here.
Absolutely.
Mayor forgot my name during that period of time apparently, so.
Call him Nick.
Because I was thinking Nick, okay?
Sorry, I just couldn't. I watched to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Pass until then. My office, 8 a.m.
Well, that was Thursday. All right, Sarah wish I have a copy of my monthly report. Did have a little bit lower miles, a little bit slightly lower calls for service. A lot of that stems from the decreased number of transfers that we've taken, just because we have had staffing issues. Take our normal staffing issues. I've got one person off on workman's comp, which takes a big chunk out of us. And it was just a very busy month all the way around. So I do have 2 full-time EMTs in progress that I'll be bringing to the Board of Works next month to get on board, and I'm hoping 1 paramedic I've been corresponding with. So that would bring us up to full staff for the first time since January. So that is my hope. So
Keep our fingers crossed.
yes, but I've also got burned a couple of times where I thought I had things lined out, and then at the last minute people changed their minds. So it's one of those, I guess I'm not pessimistic, but I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not counting my chickens. So we have started the process, one of the large processes of updating our medical protocols. This is through our medical director, Dr. Kraft at Reed. This is the first major overhaul in about 10 years. So it's encompassing a lot of material, a lot of information. So we're changing out some medications. We're getting rid of some. We're adding some. There's some procedures we're adding. Some we're taking away. The ones that we're adding are kind of the better alternative to what we've been doing. So it's just been it's a big process. It really is. There's some equipment changing out as far as like supplies, not major equipment, but like we're going to quit carrying this particular piece of equipment, but we're going to start carrying this particular piece of equipment. So I did complete a driver's instructor's course. That's something I've been looking at for several months, trying to find one that would fit us. And it took quite a while, but I finally found one. I got that, so I'm now instructor for EMS driving. So we're going to start working on that. It also it came with their policies and how they recommend you write this policy and how you do this and safety initiatives and things like that. So that's all forthcoming kind of internally. I think I've said a couple of times that I was working with the billing service to do a rate study. We finally got that back, putting all that together. I've talked to the mayor some about it. Hopefully have that out to you in September for your review and approval. I also included an article, and as I said, it was an unconventional source. It was in the farm world, but it was about rural Indiana EMS. Just kind of some good background about what we're facing. And we're not the only ones, and about some of the things that they're doing to try to help that. But that was pointed out by someone that works with us, and so I made sure to snag a copy and get a copy for myself and for you guys as well. Does anybody have any questions?
Thanks for
There's actually been another one actually after I had submitted this through NPR. I may just email it to everyone if everyone does their email. It's along the same lines, but NPR did it, and in Indiana.
It's nice to know we're not alone.
We are not alone. Yeah. We are definitely not alone. Do you have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Move on down to old business. We can group the first 3 together if you'd like, or if you want to pull one out or do whatever. The item D we have to keep separate. It's your pleasure on this.
I would say the first 3 do those together.
A, B, and C.
We have a motion for the,
Well, I thought,
You might want
that was the 100 block of East, that's the handicap
that's
next to the
why I
bank.
asked the way I did.
Yeah, I could barely hear you, but
Sorry.
if I understood you,
We
vote
can-
on all these.
You can take all three, you can pull one out, you can do whatever your pleasure here.
Yep. B, C, and D, it's okay to delete that spot, but A, been requested by the commercial property to keep that handy for their customers. So,
We would
D, we
D
can't do D because that's on
oh, I'm
the speed
sorry,
limit.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But the parking issues.
Yeah, that may have to move, but we can do that at the time. May not, we gotta get that figured out.
There's actually, and what was confusing from the very beginning, the wording that we received on the agenda didn't match either one of the parking spots that's on East 8. And with further investigating, we're just keeping both.
Right.
This is, so if one of them isn't even mentioned, it stays, so we'll just keep this one. So I guess what you do is turn this one down, right?
You don't have, yeah, we don't have to do anything with it.
You don't even have to deal with it?
If there's not a
There's no
motion to
motion.
pass it,
Okay.
then it just falls.
You can do a motion for B and C together, then leave A off.
Sounds good.
Should you just ask for, if there's any motions to do A, and then if there are none, then you can officially say that it's,
You can make a motion however you want. You can make a
I
motion
mean,
for,
for lack of a motion.
you don't have to do like a motion. You can do, I make a motion to approve pending orders 6759, 6763.
Just continue on
That's
to
it.
B and C.
Okay, yeah. That's not, okay,
Am I over confusing everyone?
Yeah,
yeah, he's overthinking it. Okay.
So do I have any motions? Did you make the motion? I didn't hear you.
No, I didn't make a motion on,
Okay.
sorry, is this on B and C?
yes.
I'll make a motion on B and C.
And I'll second.
A motion and a second to approve pending orders 3699 and 3703. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. And a motion to suspend the rules.
So moved.
Second.
And a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Am I going too fast?
No,
Okay. Did I get past the same sign? I don't even know.
Yes.
yes,
And a motion for third and final.
so moved.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. You all got me confused here. Okay.
And I don't know that we ever did say what these things are, but they are eliminating unnecessary
Handicap.
Handicap, yeah.
Okay, item D, approval of pending ordinance 3683. It's a speed limit change on the third and final reading from 3rd to 9th Street on Central Avenue to 20 mile an hour. Have a motion to approve the pending ordinance 3683 on third and final reading.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried. Now just know on that, the signs won't go up immediately because they're doing construction, so we kind of do it all at the same time. Okay, miscellaneous business. I already talked about the ordinance splits. Something else we do around here, every Friday, we kind of do it during the school year, it is Spartan Friday. I have 2 kids in school that play sports, so I used to call it Football Friday till my daughter became a freshman and play soccer, so, and there's other sports going on too, so I don't want to leave anyone out, so Fridays around City Hall, anywhere, and I encourage the community to get behind it as well, but every Fridays, just wear your Spartan pride and show your support for our kids. It's going to be a good year, it's good to see them back in sports, hopefully it continues that way, but just support our kids on Fridays. Any other miscellaneous business? Let it zoom out there from the public. And if not, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Have a good day.